The night was still, with a haunting silence that covered the old battlefields where the echoes of war had long faded. Yet, on this peculiar evening, something stirred beneath the soil. The ground began to tremble, as if history itself was waking from a deep slumber. From the once blood-soaked earth, Confederate soldiers rose, spectral and determined, their eyes set on a new mission not yet imagined by the living. This was no ordinary gathering of spirits. It was a rallying of those long lost to time, ready to reclaim what they believed was theirs by right. These figures, clad in tattered uniforms, bore no malice in their spectral march. Instead, they carried the weight of a misunderstood past, seeking a future where their legacy could be redefined. This was a second chance, not to revive old grievances, but to forge a new path. They moved with purpose, their ethereal presence a testament to the unresolved issues of a divided nation. As they marched, the land seemed to welcome them, whispering tales of bravery, sacrifice, and a longing for unity that transcended their former cause. The air grew thick with anticipation, as if nature itself held its breath. These soldiers, once bound to their graves by the chains of history, now walked freely under the moonlit sky. It was a scene reminiscent of the stories of old, where armies rose to right the wrongs that had left their world unbalanced. Yet this was not a tale of war and conquest. It was a story of redemption and hope, a chance to rewrite the narrative of a region often misunderstood and maligned. As dawn approached, their spectral journey continued, weaving through the memories and monuments that had long defined their cause. They marched towards a future that promised not just change, but a reimagining of what it meant to be part of the Southern legacy. This was the beginning of a new chapter, one that sought to heal the wounds of the past and build a foundation for a brighter tomorrow. The early 21st century became a battleground of a different sort, where the fight was not for land or power, but for the soul of a nation's history. Across the United States, the removal of Confederate flags and monuments sparked heated debates. These symbols, once seen as relics of heritage, now stood at the center of a cultural reckoning. Communities were torn between preserving their past and acknowledging the pain those symbols represented to many. The landscape of memory was shifting, with each removed monument marking a step towards a new understanding of history. In Decatur, Georgia, the replacement of a Confederate monument with a statue of civil rights icon John Lewis spoke volumes. It was a powerful statement of progress and reconciliation, a way to honor those who fought for equality and justice. Similar changes unfolded across the country, as memorials honoring Black history emerged in place of Confederate symbols. This was not just a physical transformation of space, but a profound shift in the collective narrative of a nation grappling with its identity. The irony was not lost on those who watched these events unfold. The very symbols that once defined a rebellion against the United States were now being removed in an effort to unite it. This juxtaposition was emblematic of the complex relationship between memory and identity, a testament to the power of narrative to shape perceptions. As statues came down, communities were forced to confront the legacies of the past and consider the kind of future they wished to build. This cultural shift was not without its challenges. For many, the removal of these monuments felt like an erasure of history, a denial of the complexities that define the Southern experience. Yet for others, it was a necessary step towards healing and justice. It was a reminder that history is not static, but a living, breathing entity, constantly evolving as society grows and changes. In a small southern town, an old man sat on his porch, surrounded by his grandchildren. The removal of Confederate monuments sparked lively discussions around the dinner table, and the old man found himself at the center of these conversations. He was a bridge between the past and the present, his stories a living testament to the complexities of Southern history. The Confederate flag once flew proudly in town squares, a symbol of regional pride and Southern identity. Our ancestors fought in the Civil War, their bravery and sacrifices etched into the fabric of our family lore. But we can't ignore the darker chapters of that history. The injustices and divisions that left deep scars on our nation.
Grandpa, it's like your stories are a tapestry of triumphs and tribulations. We need to remember the past, not to glorify or condemn, but to learn and grow.
Yeah, Grandpa, your tales spark so many questions and curiosity in us. We want to explore the nuances of our history.
That's right, kiddos. Understanding the past is crucial to shaping a future that honors all voices and experiences. The porch here is our classroom where we can discuss the challenges and hopes of a changing world.
Grandpa, we promise to think critically about the symbols and stories that shape our identity.
And we'll remember that history is not just about the past, but about the choices we make in the present and the legacy we leave for the future.
In our conversations, we found common ground, a shared commitment to building a world that respects and celebrates diversity and unity. As the nation grappled with the complexities of its history, a ghostly resurgence took root. The Confederate soldiers, awakened from their eternal rest, began their spectral march across the South. Their presence was both haunting and hopeful, a reminder of a past that refused to be forgotten. But unlike their mortal counterparts, these ghosts carried no flags of rebellion. Instead, they bore a new vision for the Confederate States of America, one that was not bound by the constraints of its past. The spectral soldiers moved with silent determination, their journey a symbolic reclamation of the land they once fought to defend. They were led by the ghost of Robert E. Lee himself, a figure of immense symbolic importance. Lee, the reluctant hero of the Confederacy, now stood at the forefront of a movement that sought to redefine the Southern identity. His presence was a reminder of the complexities of leadership and the burden of legacy. The start of this Second Civil War was unlike any other. It was not fought with guns and cannons, but with ideas and ideals. We, the ghostly soldiers, advocated for a new Confederate States of America, one that celebrated the rich cultural heritage of the South while rejecting the divisive ideologies of the past. Our vision was one of unity and progress, a confederacy that could stand alongside the United States as a partner in peace and prosperity. As the spectral soldiers marched, they were joined by the living, people who believed in the possibility of a better South. Together, they worked to create a new narrative, one that honored the sacrifices of those who came before, while embracing the values of equality and justice. This was a movement not just to reclaim the past, but to build a future where all Southerners could thrive, regardless of their background or beliefs. Section 5. The New Confederate States of America. The establishment of the new Confederate States of America marked a turning point in the nation's history. Led by the charismatic Hank Williams, Jr., the CSA embraced a vision that was both revolutionary and redemptive. This was not a return to the old ways, but a bold step into a future where the South could redefine itself on its own terms. The new CSA was built on the principles of inclusivity and innovation, a reflection of the diverse and dynamic society it sought to create. Under Williams' leadership, the CSA became a beacon of cultural renaissance, celebrating the music, art, and traditions that made the South unique. This was a confederacy that honored its heritage while looking towards a future unburdened by the shadows of its past. The new government prioritized education and economic development, investing in the potential of its people to create a thriving and prosperous society. The removal of divisive symbols and the embracing of a unifying vision set the stage for a new chapter in Southern history. The CSA was committed to preserving the best of its traditions while fostering an environment of equality and opportunity for all. This was a nation that understood the power of history to shape identity, and it sought to use that power for positive change. In this new Confederacy, the past was not forgotten, but it was reimagined. The CSA honored the sacrifices of its ancestors by building a society that respected the dignity and rights of all its citizens. This was a bold experiment in nation-building, a testament to the resilience and creativity of a region determined to forge its own destiny. The new CSA was not just a political entity, but a cultural phenomenon, a symbol of the South's enduring spirit and its capacity for transformation. Section 6. preserving and transforming history. The new Confederate States of America was deeply committed to preserving history while transforming its narrative. This delicate balance was achieved through a thoughtful approach that respected the complexities of the past while embracing the potential of the future. The CSA recognized that history was not a monolith, but a tapestry of experiences, and it sought to honor all those who had contributed to its rich cultural heritage. In this spirit, the CSA embarked on a mission to preserve historical sites and monuments, ensuring that the stories of the past remained accessible to future generations. However, these sites were reimagined to reflect a more inclusive narrative, one that acknowledged the contributions and sacrifices of all Southerners, regardless of race or background. This was not about erasing history, but about expanding it to include voices that had long been marginalized. The CSA also invested in education and public history initiatives, creating museums and cultural centers that celebrated the diverse history of the South. These institutions became places of learning and reflection, where people could engage with the complexities of the past and explore the possibilities of the future. The CSA understood that a comprehensive understanding of history was essential to building a society that valued justice and equality. By transforming the narrative of its past, the CSA created a foundation for a future that was both respectful and progressive. This new approach to history was not without its challenges, but it was a necessary step towards healing and reconciliation. The CSA's commitment to preserving and transforming history was a testament to its belief in the power of narrative to shape identity and inspire change. Section 7. A Symbol of Change. Robert E. Lee. The ghostly presence of Robert E. Lee was a powerful symbol in the story of the new CSA. Lee, a figure long associated with the Confederate cause, now stood at the forefront of a movement that sought to redefine the Southern identity. His ghostly signature on the formation of the new CSA was a symbolic gesture, an acknowledgement of the complexities of leadership and the burden of legacy. The removal of Lee's statue in Charlottesville had been a catalyst for change, sparking conversations about the role of Confederate symbols in modern America. The statue, once a symbol of Southern pride, had become a focal point for debates about history and memory. Its removal marked a turning point, a recognition that the narrative of the past must be expanded to include all voices and experiences. In the new CSA, Lee's legacy was reimagined to reflect the values of unity and progress. His leadership was celebrated not for its association with the past, but for its potential to inspire a future that honored all Southerners. Lee became a symbol of change, a reminder that history is not static, but a living entity that evolves as society grows and changes. This reimagining of Lee's legacy was not without controversy, but it was a necessary step towards reconciliation. The new CSA understood that symbols have the power to shape identity, and it sought to use that power for positive change. By embracing a more inclusive narrative, the CSA created a foundation for a future that respected the dignity and rights of all its citizens. Section 8. The Impact on National Identity. The rise of the new Confederate States of America had a profound impact on the national identity of the United States. The CSA's commitment to inclusivity and innovation challenged the traditional narratives of both the North and the South, creating a new vision for what it meant to be American. This was a vision that celebrated diversity and unity, a reflection of the nation's potential to grow and change. The CSA's approach to history and identity sparked conversations about the role of memory in shaping the present. The removal of divisive symbols and the embracing of a unifying vision set the stage for a new chapter in American history. This was a moment of reflection and reconciliation, a chance to build a future that honored all voices and experiences. For many, the rise of the CSA was a reminder that history is not static, but a living, breathing entity that evolves as society grows and changes. It was a testament to the power of narrative to shape identity and inspire change. The CSA's commitment to preserving and transforming history created a foundation for a future that was both respectful and progressive. The impact of the new CSA on the national identity was profound and far-reaching. It challenged the traditional narratives of both the North and the South, creating a new vision for what it meant to be American. This was a vision that celebrated diversity and unity, a reflection of the nation's potential to grow and change. The CSA's approach to history and identity sparked conversations about the role of memory in shaping the present and inspired a new generation to embrace the complexities of their shared heritage. Section 9. A New Vision for the South. The new Confederate States of America represented a bold and inspiring vision for the South. It was a vision that celebrated the region's rich cultural heritage while embracing the potential of a future unburdened by the shadows of its past. The CSA's commitment to inclusivity and innovation created a foundation for a society that valued justice and equality for all its citizens. Under the leadership of Hank Williams, Jr., the CSA became a beacon of cultural renaissance, celebrating the music, art, and traditions that made the South unique. This was a confederacy that honored its heritage while looking towards a future that respected the dignity and rights of all its citizens. The new government prioritized education and economic development, investing in the potential of its people to create a thriving and prosperous society. The CSA's commitment to preserving and transforming history was a testament to its belief in the power of narrative to shape identity and inspire change. By reimagining the symbols and stories of the past, the CSA created a foundation for a future that was both respectful and progressive. This new approach to history was not without its challenges, but it was a necessary step towards healing and reconciliation. In the end, the new Confederate States of America was not just a political entity, but a cultural phenomenon. It was a symbol of the South's enduring spirit and its capacity for transformation. The CSA's vision for the future was one of unity and progress, a reflection of the region's potential to grow and change. This was a new chapter in Southern history, a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome adversity and create a brighter tomorrow.